And welcome back, dear listener, to the only place where the only people care. I'm your host for tonight, Ebenezer, and with my illustrious co-host here, Scott.
I guess that's me.
Turn around for the camera.
No. Smile and wave.
All right. So, we're here, episode 4. We made it to the 4th episode.
Is that crazy?
I know. It feels like a healthy relationship, you know? Coming back week after week, doing the work.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we've been doing this for a lot longer than 4 episodes. But it's just how it goes, I guess.
Now, I wonder if that's what we're going to say when we hit the 100th episode.
You think we're gonna go that long?
Well, I mean, once a week. That can't be that far. That sounds like a couple months from now.
Couple
a
months.
year and a half?
Alright, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't have the budget for it.
I know who's paying for these lights. Well, Scott, how's your week been?
My week's been pretty good. Not much has been happening. I didn't pull anything special in Pokemon Pocket, so it's been pretty mediocre to be honest with you. But it's really nice how I scheduled it, where I get the first one when I wake up in the morning, and I get the second one before I go to sleep. So it's perfectly timed, so I can get the equal amount of double pulls. And I'm waiting. There was a time where I could have pulled the Articuno EX from one of the Wonder Picks. I tried it once, and I failed. So I was like, okay, you know what? I want to give it to my coworker, because she has good luck. And then we both voted on where we were going to pick. She picked a spot, I picked the other spot, and guess where it was?
It was hers.
No, it was mine. But I didn't press the button. She pressed hers. So, with her luck, she didn't get it. But I knew it was going to be in the spot that I picked, but I couldn't pick it because it was his turn. It was her turn to pick the Pokemon spot for me in the Wonder Pick. So, it was a regrettable experience that I didn't get it. And it, as they say, it is what it is, but just to let the record know that I was right. I picked the right one in the heart of hearts.
I think the Wonder Pick is rigged.
Honestly?
Yeah, because I feel like I've done the same thing. So I started doing this thing where I'll pick the card before it even shuffles it. And then I've noticed the past 4 picks I wanted, I was like, what are the odds they don't move the card? And I didn't pick this card, it didn't move. All 4 times, they didn't shuffle the fucking card. I think it's a rig. I think it's rigged.
It's always been shuffled when I do it.
I don't know. It's
maybe it's because are you animation canceling and they're just not used to, like, I'm sure they thought about that. There's no way they didn't think about that.
It does the whole shuffle animation, everything, and I'm just thinking, what are the odds that they don't move the card in the same spot I saw it? And it happened 4 times in a row, and I was like, I don't think that's possible. I think they have to be cheating.
I think if you lose 4 times in a row, then you're definitely the problem.
No, sir, give me my money back. Let me gamble. Oh, man. That game was addictive, but you got it set up. Sometimes I forget that you're like a true veteran when it comes to gacha summoning. Because you've been playing, what's that Fire Emblem one?
Yeah, I've been playing Fire Emblem Heroes since not day 1, but since the first couple weeks of it being announced back in the old days. And I'm still playing it to this day. I'm still summoning, I'm still playing the game, doing my dailies. But I'm not as into it as before. As in, I've kind of gotten to the point where I've gotten mostly everyone that I wanted. And if I don't have them, I'd rather not grind for it. I'll just wait. Because the banners are kind of bull. And so sometimes you just gotta wait for the other banner to pop up in the future. Because if you don't get the guaranteed pull, it's not worth your time. There was one time I spent like over, oh god, a lot. I spent a lot to get a character because I had everyone but that character, and I don't spend real money. This is all my in-game grind time, And I didn't get the character, and I was like, you know what? I'm never doing this ever again. I'm never picking a banner that doesn't give you a guaranteed pull of the one you want.
That's spoken with wisdom. I unfortunately spent money when I was younger. I remember playing Dragon Ball Z Dokkan, and I remember spending what little money I got from a summer camp job on it. I was like, my brothers pulled. It was just like like how you guys pulled Charizard, and I did it, and I was like, I gotta fix that. I need to pull a Charizard EX.
What were you playing?
We were playing Dokkan, and he pulled a Broly, and I was like, what? My brother pulled Broly and I did it. I was like, no, 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 this can't be. So I remember going to CVS. I bought like $80 worth worth
Wow.
of chips, and I didn't even get him. I did not even get him, and that's what I learned. I'm never going to a casino because they got me, and he wasn't even that good, and I stopped playing 2 months after.
Damn.
Yeah, so I
Hey.
got farmed. I got farmed.
I'm surprised you quit. I thought you'd be like, I invested money into it. I'm locked in here now.
That's what I said the first week, and then week 4 went by, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I didn't get him still. I was like, the next banner's coming, and I spent all my gems from the events on this banner, just still trying to get him, and I didn't get him. I was like, fuck this game.
Shaking my head.
I don't have that kind of resilience like you do.
Well, I mean, yeah, not everyone is built in my set of skills.
No, you have extreme patience. I still imagine like they're at the company and there's like only 10 users, and like this guy's still doing the dailies.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, dang, he broke the system. Yeah,
But they're getting real stingy with it though. They're giving
I
you
think
less
so.
orbs for dailies, and so you can't really summon as much anymore these days. Because back in the
That's
day, they gave you
inflation.
so many summoning orbs, but nowadays it's just like dwindling.
It's inflation, Scott. It's affecting our gotcha.
Sure. But how's your week been?
It has been school filled. I've been doing nonstop small little projects. Actually, one in particular that's like been grinding at me. The wheelbarrow. I've been trying to make a wheelbarrow. So like I got past the phase of like learning what everything does. And so I'm in the phase of like do what you've learned. And so I was doing it and I realized, oh my God, I can make a wheelbarrow, but it does not look pretty at all. And then I learned some new concepts. And so now I'm working on general art skills. I was working on like drawing stuff, which kind of helped. But there's some art classes at school that are voluntary but very recommended because there's some teachers from the industry who come and teach them. I'm definitely going to take them now because I didn't realize how important it is to like doing something in 3D. Like I was cocky. I was like, I didn't look at reference. I was like, I know what a wheelbarrow is. I can make a wheelbarrow. And it did not look like the way I wanted to do. And it made me think of, there's this one person's video I watched recently called PCAT. And she said that drawing is RNG. And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like practicing my drawing today and I accidentally made like an anime smile face. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so right. Because I didn't intend for that and it looks great. But yeah, that's been my week for the most part. That, little job hunting, but mostly schoolwork and art. And then, of course, I've started meditating again. I say this every year. I sound like a Lindsay who lives down your street who says she gave up vegan milk or something, all right? Like, Monday, Tuesday, I'm like stressing out, trying to get stuff done as fast as possible. Wednesday, I was like, all right, let's start doing some healthy things. Let's meditate, eat some carrots. And then now I feel like Mr. Miyagi. I feel so mellowed out, and like I feel like I'm breathing again. But man, then again, I'm dramatic. Dear listener, if you haven't learned that yet, I am one zesty queen. I think. Like I woke up, I had a nap today. I had a nap today, and I woke up and my hands felt heavy, and I instantly diagnosed myself with carpal tunnel syndrome. So I spent half my day just doing the last minute Googles of, hey, how do I stop carpal tunnel syndrome? But I came back down. I came back down from the plane. I'm no longer in panic mode. My hands feel fine. So, dear listener, if you're panicking, take a breather. Maybe it's not that serious. Unless you're bleeding, it's serious. But yeah,
It's not that serious.
not that serious. Not
You're
that
fine.
serious. It's just a bullet wound.
It's a flesh wound. Well, I will say you go through these cycles of I'm feeling like the best guy in the world to oh my god, I gotta wake up in 2 hours. And you're super dead and you're like tired and angry at everyone in the world. Like I can't believe they did this unjust thing to me. And then you go you cycle. Like any normal human being. Except the problem is that I've heard this cycle for basically every time I hear you saying I'm gonna fix myself. I'm gonna change. And then you do it, and then it's a cycle, it comes back. I mean, it's normal. That's normal.
That is true, but yeah, you've seen it all. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't have a goth phase, you know? I feel like you see me like go through every kind of up and down at this point.
I can't imagine for the goth phase.
I know, right? I missed it. It was like the 2010s when everyone had the tonight's the night, I mean a night I did to die for you. You
Yeah,
remember
man,
that?
that's right now. That's today. It hasn't gone. That's it's us.
Don't say that. Don't put that out there. Oh no.
I used to live that life when you couldn't see past your hair.
That was a big thing. Man, the trends of the past. Well, speaking of the past, as the host, I decided today I have a topic in mind. It is called Are They Crazy or Are They an Artist? In memorialization, excuse my English, of the past artists who've gone by and done some crazy shit. I figured I'd test your knowledge since you're such a history buff since you proved yourself in episode 1.
And exactly because of that, you're gonna see exactly how far wrong this is gonna go.
And we'll see how right you are. And in the process, you will get to learn some of the crazy shit some of these ne'er-do-wells have done. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's see what you're cooking.
All right. So we'll start off with a nice, easy one for you here. So, this man was born in the Netherlands in the 1800s-ish, and he was a very prolific person. He liked to do all types of kind of art-related things that involve like hand art mostly. And during his time at his young age, he was super depresso, very much cut the wrist, sit in a bathtub kind of vibe, and eventually got locked up in an insane asylum. And it was there that he shot himself in the chest with a revolver.
That's hot. I mean, what?
Now, before you date him, ladies, tell me, is this an artist or just a crazy person?
By artists, you mean like have they produced work of arts?
Let's define. Good point. I guess we'll define an artist as someone of notoriety. Because everyone on the list will be someone who has like a name to them,
Because I definitely want to do an episode where I talk about all these historic musicians in the past. Because they have some really crazy backstories, bro.
You think so? I've only seen the ones that I've watched like a docu-movie of. But I think you're right.
No. Like I have some notes from back in the days that I will try to find one day.
Okay.
But you're saying this person got locked in a tower and shot himself with a revolver in the tower.
Yes. He also famously, well, not really famously, but I guess this is what crazy people do. He cut off his own ear.
Oh, yeah. So he is a famous purse artist. Isn't he the Van Gogh guy?
Correct. I probably should have said famous.
Well, as soon as you said cut off ear... Okay, my initial reaction was it sounds like Van Gogh, because I know that he had a very depressing life, which is why his art was very, like... I can't describe art. I'm not an artist. But,
No, describe it. Describe it. I know you can't see images in your head, so I'd love to know what comes to mind when you think of Van Gogh.
I was going to say flowy. All right? Take that as you will.
He must be blind.
Yeah, so it's Van Gogh, and then he said his ear got cut off, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the guy that cut off his ear.
See? You're a history buff. Only a history buff would know that.
That is so untrue.
It is because I didn't know he cut off his left ear until I read the article, and I was like, "Oh, that's famous."
What did you learn in school?
I learned that Mike Tyson bit off a guy's ear, and I was like, "Oh, that's history, baby."
Oh, okay.
Now on to our next. This gentleman was born in the 19th century. Would the 19th century be the 1900s, right?
I would hope so.
That's what I'd like to think, because yeah, in the 19th century,
Wait, what do you think 19th century was?
I thought 19th century was 100 years further back. He goes, you know what always kind of threw me off when
The
you watch
20th
a
century?
movie. Yes, and it say 20, and I'm like, aren't we past it yet? It's like no, they haven't said 21st. I was like, huh, okay,
Hold on, now I
guess
gotta Google this.
right. And I don't know if it's because they won't update their logo or if it's because we're actually still in the 20th century.
The 20th century was a period between 1901 to 2000.
So see, we were out of it, but they still played movies that said 20th century. Was it? It's not Fox, was it?
It was 20th Century Fox until
Yeah.
they got stuff happening to them. But then the 19th century is between 1801 and 1900. So from 1801 to 19. So I
Okay.
guess it's sort of like backwards when you think about it, right? Because
That kind of
18
seems
is
right.
19 and 19 is 20.
Wait, so
Wait,
are
what?
we in the 21st century then?
We're
Or are we?
21. Yeah, we're
Okay.
21st.
That's all I need to worry about. Because you know what? Like, what's the odds we make it to the 22nd century? That's a whole 100 years. Unless they find the
Well,
cure for immortality in the next 40 years,
we have a good
and only
chance.
people who have Bitcoin. You know how expensive immortality is gonna be? You joking me? It's gonna be like a battle pass where it's like you gotta sub every month
Yeah.
to keep it.
Oh, I also, just to throw something off of your tangent
Yeah,
real quick, I
give
had
it
a
to me.
thought when I was editing the podcast, the last
Yeah.
episode, when we were talking about, you were talking about medicine, right? If someone had like diabetes
Oh yeah.
and you had the pills and you were questioning why people had to pay for it. And then I didn't say at the time, but I thought about it. I was like, well, doesn't it cost money to make the pills? You had to make it cost something to be able to make the thing, right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I feel like isn't that something the government should be paying for? I feel like like we pay taxes. I'm like, because here's the thing: when we were paying taxes in the 16th century, I can get it right because I don't want some Neanderthal taking my farm and my wife. But it's the 21st century now. All right. The only Neanderthal is my boss, who's asking me to come in on a Saturday morning. So I'm just thinking, like, I want the government to be paying a little. Like, I'm not asking you to pay for my cancer treatment, God forbid. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of people with diabetes. We got a fat country. I was like, how about you pay the check on this? If it's one thing, right? Diabetes pills or what is it? Is it not diabetic pills? It's something. Insulin. Insulin.
Insulin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's reasonable. Like if I was the president, I was like, "Hey guys, I know we're in debt. Hear me out. We're not buying a TV, but since there's so many of you who are fat as fuck, let's look. That's the reality. Calm down, lady. We're
And
gonna pay for the insulin." And everyone's gonna be like, he goes like, "Would you? I wouldn't be mad at it. Like I'm like, it's helping the country. Helping the country."
I guess.
So when our one listener Donald Trump hears this, hear me out.
You
Hear
know,
me
to
out.
to completely spin off of this, to go back on track. It's crazy how my first thought was to say Van Gogh and just like be like, yeah, it's Van Gogh. But then I was like, no, I gotta wait for everything. And you gave me too much of a hint, and I was like, okay, now I definitely know it's
I
Van Gogh.
did. I definitely did. I'm not a. What I feel like is a good trait for a show host is that they're not very nice. It's like because I'll be like, oh wait, I can give you one more hint. No, it's okay. You'll win the million. I bet it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, our next guy here. This will be a little bit harder. Born in the 19th century, he was a very ordinary man, and like most crazy people, he splattered paint around like any other crazy person would do. And his works were very messy, and for the most part, he just drank himself to death and had big depression. Other than that, classic alcoholic, hit your wife, hit the bottle. hit the bottle and the wife. Is he a crazy
So,
guy?
is he
Or
a
is he
crazy guy and an artist?
yeah.
I wonder what kind of works he done. I imagine they're like really big pieces of art.
I mean, he could be painting his fence, could be painting, you know, a portrait of his dog. Crazy people paint random shit.
Well, I'm just gonna test the waters of my wonder pick here, and I'm gonna say it's a crazy person. All right, you know what?
You're wrong. Get out, dummy. The artist you're looking for is Jackson Pollock, best known for his abstract expressionism that may look like splattered chaos. And so he's that guy who makes that weird splattered shit that people go, "Oh, how deep."
Ah,
See? There you go. You got it.
that
That's
was it.
it.
That was it.
Yeah.
I've been practicing that,
Okay.
so when I go in the museum, I have to fit in.
His quote for his, I guess, his lifetime, what they had him say is that he says, "Every good painter paints what he is." Now, is that deep or is that bullshit? I feel like that's kind of like, no duh.
That makes sense. You are what you eat, right?
Yeah, right? I feel like
Hey,
everyone knows that. That
a
wasn't
game
too
is game.
insightful. Game is game. All right. You're one for, would that be one for one? One
Well, how
lost,
many are
one
there?
out? I would say there's probably six.
Okay. Well, so
So
far,
you're you're 1 out of 6
yeah, for now.
for now. Let's see if you get a passing score. Our next gentleman here was born way back in the olden times of gods and mythology and whatnot.
It was crazy.
He, he attended class with his with fellow other students in Greece under the tutelage of one Sir Plato. He was known to be very intrusive and loud and rude during class, making it impossible for Plato to teach. Very much often arguing with Plato on his philosophical beliefs. And he had a tenacity for masturbating in public. Is this just one crazy Grease man? Or is this an artist?
Did he paint using his fluids?
He was known to dabble in arts and such.
Well, if I know anyone from back then, that was pretty normal behavior. So I'm gonna say it's an artist. Dang.
It was the homeless philosopher Diogenes. He has some big takes against Plato, essentially, but yeah, he was a crazy guy who just thought the world was a little bit more different. I'm sorry, Scott. That is still 1 for 6.
Yeah,
Damn.
I know. I
It's all right,
believed in my
folks.
guy. I thought that he would paint the world in his image and his color by spreading his seed when what on any canvas he spoke and thought of.
Now, that doesn't sound like a crazy person.
That's pretty normal.
No, that's not normal. Oh God. Our next gentleman. Sorry, ladies. I don't think I have a single lady on here. Ladies in the past didn't really. They don't really. There's not any big names in the past. Past. Do you know any?
Not that I
Because
could
like
think
I'm
of.
right, or maybe it's because we don't. Sorry, ladies. It wasn't the history book. I swear.
Well, I don't dabble in history, so I can't say much about it.
Tell us again about ships, Scott. You never said if they were female.
Well, if you said it was a female doing this, then it has to be crazy.
That bitch is crazy for 500.
Yeah.
All right. Our next gentleman here. Beginning his career, he dabbled in arts in the very city where most crazy people like to live. The
Venice.
humble. No. Venice is a great place.
Okay, I'm sorry. You been there?
No. But Venice, I'm sure Venice is nice. From what TV has depicted. I'm sure Venice is nice. But this gentleman here is from the concrete streets of New York City. Like most children to adults, there aren't consisted of such that came onto walls. Could you really call it art? Or just a lot of crap? Between his time dabbling in such, he had a large paranoia and struggled with the everyday crack cocaine, drugging, druggy, amphetamine, whatever you put in your system that shouldn't be in your system kind of thing.
So this is
And
like recent.
yeah, this is pretty recent.
Like 21st century recent?
I would
Or
say like 20th century.
20th century?
Yeah.
All right, so we're dealing with the 1900s, 1800s.
No. Because it's 20th century, including the few years of the 2000s.
I just looked this up. I had to look it up again.
Yeah. Stenographer, can you?
Yeah, run it back, stenographer. If it's past 2000, it's 21st century.
Okay. So no, this is 21st century. My
All
apologies.
right, so you set me up. All right.
Wait,
This
wait, wait,
host.
wait.
All right, host.
Wait. Because here's the thing. There's no date on this. So let's say
It was crazy.
as your game was I'm part of the plot.
Oh my god, you
I,
just lagged so hard there. Hold on.
I'm back.
You're back. Okay.
I laughed and I hit the wire, connecting all my holding all the shit together.
Okay, so when you when you, dear listener, listens to this part of the episode and notice the random cut, it's because this guy has the problem, okay? It's his fault.
I'm sorry, dear listener. I fell out my chair while drinking my beer and wearing my Cubs hat. It happens. Now, this guy is 21st century, maybe 20th century. Let's just say 1980 and up.
Okay.
Yeah, 1980s and up. Was he a crazy guy on drugs or was he an artist with flair?
Well, if I know New York, I'm gonna say crazy.
Scott, that is wrong.
Yup.
The artist you're looking for is Jean-Michel Basquiat. Basquiat! That's a nice last name. He was known for his graffiti artwork and died at the young age of 27 after overdose of heroin.
So he was crazy because he took drugs.
Crazy good. I remember watching a small YouTube documentary about him, and I was surprised how prolific his stuff was.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was just regular stuff. I think this is the thing. Since we're Gen Z, I don't think.
Well,
art
we're not
hits the
Gen Z.
same.
Hold on a second.
Scott, I hate to break it to you. The doctor came in with the results.
Says who?
We're Gen Z by a year.
Oh shit!
By a year,
I
unfortunately.
can't be true. No, no.
It's not yours.
I was gonna say like a Zoomer term, but
See?
it's different. No,
What do you mean no? Accept your fate.
I was gonna say like bazinga, but that's not a Zoomer term.
Is that from Simpsons or
That's
something?
just like a nerd term from like The Big Bang Theory.
But yeah, he's a druggy artist guy. I don't know. Art doesn't hit the same. I feel this is the thing. Right? 20 years ago, like you look at Mona Lisa, wow. You look at Starry Night, wow. But now I feel like today, like people our age today and lower, it's like if it's not an anime girl, they're like, I seen it.
I don't think so at all.
You know?
No.
I might be extremely wrong, but I haven't been to a museum. So maybe next time I should go to a museum and probe for questions. Or would that even work? Because people who go to museums like old art.
Well,
So
I feel
half the
like art history isn't one of those things that you just learn because you want to learn. Is you don't really need to apply it unless you're interested in that field. You know?
That is a good point.
Because if I
But do
asked you like who painted the Mona Lisa, would you be able to answer that?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
I don't know.
Da Vinci.
And,
Galileo.
I don't know. Actually don't know. And that's what I mean. Like if you're not interested in that type of topic, you're not really gonna remember these things.
That's a fair point.
The only reason why I got the first one right is because you said the guy chopped off his ear, and that's pretty wicked, you know?
That is true. Takes a lot of guts to do that. I don't know, dear listener, you tell me. Are you in tune with your artist Zoom?
Oh wait, I looked it up. Who painted Mona Lisa?
Galileo. No, it's not Galileo. Da Vinci. No.
What's close to Da Vinci?
Devante?
Da Vinci's close cousin, Davante. No, it's Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know,
Leonardo da Vinci. All right.
Leonardo
Alright.
da Vinci.
We're close. We're almost there.
Yeah,
Maybe we should go to a museum.
I've been to a museum, not recently,
What?
before COVID,
Yeah.
and before that too as well.
That feels like forever. Exactly. That's when I last went to one. But that feels like forever. Because, well, we're in 2025. COVID
We're not.
was... We're not? Oh, no,
It's
we're in
2024. Where are you living?
I almost revealed myself that I came from the future. My bad.
Oh my god.
Don't worry. I don't know. It feels like a minute. I need to go to a museum.
My problem with museums is that I like how the art is displayed because I'll look at it
Mhm.
and go, "That's really good," but then after I look at it for about 2 minutes or less, I'm just like, "All right, I'm done." And so I don't really appreciate it like all the other artists do. Like, what am I supposed to look at?
I feel your pain there. That does make a lot of sense. I will say, like 2 years ago, if I went to a museum, that's the same vibe. I might as well be looking at it through my phone.
Yeah, it's my uncultured normie view of art, not
No, I
looking
think
at
it's
the
normal.
artistic view.
I think maybe only for works that are actually like abstractly, because like you know how there's like these, I guess it's called performance art. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Like there's one with like a guy who just like I think he like makes a couple ladders fall down, and then people start clapping.
No, I've never heard of that before.
Well, so there's this art style called performance art, and it's like so you're like a living exhibit almost, and so you just keep doing this repeating scene, and then that's like your art. Like that's your art. Like there'll be one of like a lady who's throwing like blue paint at another lady, and the other lady's like standing still, like frozen. That's art.
What are you talking about?
You see? You
I thought you were
if I
describing
could
the circus.
no, that's you see, that's like the only stuff I feel like people would be like you would sit there and be like you would watch it for like a solid couple minutes and be like, huh? Because some of them is kind of good. Because like I saw like someone did like a interpretation of one that was funny. You know that black guy with the dreads who did the dang. There's too many people who do content for me to even reference who this freaking dude is.
Oh,
But the way his skit essentially went was so there's people who are standing around this picture frame of shit smeared on a canvas. And the guy's like, "Ah, oh, so deep." And then one guy goes, "What are you talking about? It's just shit smeared on a canvas." And he goes, "I yeah, but it's art." And he goes, "That's not art. My 2-year-old can do that." And then and then the you see like the artist coming like he takes the canvas and throws it in the trash. And then one comes like, "Ah." And he goes, "What are you talking about? He just threw shit out." And he's like, "He just threw shit out." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of how it's like."
yeah. I can imagine that a skit happening.
I thought that's a pretty good. That's a really, you know. But I feel like art like that is a kind of feels like the only thing that's really popular now because we live in such a video age. Like pictures don't really carry as much weight anymore.
Yeah, because it's more accessible. Make a picture and do whatever with it.
Yeah. I wonder what the next phase of art's gonna be like if we hit 4D finally. Because what is 4D looking like? And please don't say smell.
What even is
Don't say.
4D? No, that was not my first thought. I don't even know what 4D is gonna be.
You never been to a movie theater that tried to attempt 4D and they're like, "This is 4D," and it's like they're spritzing stuff in the air, and you're like, "Why would I?"
No, I avoid those.
Exactly. See, so you're waiting for 5D then. That's
That
your
can't be
problem.
4D. That's not the official 4D. There's no way
They
that's 4D.
they've already decided on it. All right. There is an advertisement for this game console machine that you attach to your console or PC, and it sprays smells of what you're in the game
Yeah, the
of.
smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not 4D though. That can't be 4D.
What are you imagining for 4D, huh, Mr. 5D?
I don't know. I just can't imagine someone blowing a fan in my face going, "You feel it now? That's the 4D experience." And they spray perfume at me too. It's like, no, it's not it. And I get out and I storm out of the building.
Uh, so you're not like the sheeple who enjoy our 4D experience, huh? Too good
You're
for it.
falsely believe 4D, false prophet of a god.
Well, since you're doing really bad, I'll just move to this final one.
Whoa, whoa.
You're 1v like
I already
horde right
failed, but
now, you know?
okay.
Like you're
It's
like
by
boss.
choice. I'm doing bad, all right?
Just that Uno reverse kids go like when they like Mr. Kenzie, I got every question wrong because I know all the answers.
Exactly.
And they're like, no, it's because you're dumb. You're dumb.
That can't be.
No,
No,
but
no,
you're dumb.
no. I'm choosing the wrong one on purpose. Trust me.
You know, it makes you think of the skit where the guy he's getting up, he goes, "Yo, I'm not supposed to be in this class." And you see all these like special ed people around him, and then the teacher goes, "Sit
Yeah,
down,
no,
Michael."
sit down. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
It's safe for you to stand up without your helmet. I was like, "Yo."
I know exactly that skit. Oh my god. That's the hot take of a skit too.
I know, that's why I love it, you know? Oh man. Now to our final question. I guess I should make this winner takes all since you're You're so down in points right now.
Crazy.
I'm a gracious game host. I want you to win this $1 million that we will tax after, and then have to take a portion cut to pay the staff.
Right.
And then, of course, we have to give it to you in payments over a 2 to 8 year period.
I don't think I signed that.
No, you did. You did.
I don't remember that.
No. We got your signature. So here, this would be the 17th century, a French peasant boy was born in near Lyon, France. From the early age, this boy had an insatiable hunger. He would cry for food and he'd finish every plate that came across him. And at the age of 17, he had such a compulsive eating mindset that he would even go out to his like own local barnery and eat out of the animal feed that the animals would eat. So soon after, his parents kicked him out because he was kind of like a deadbeat who just ate a lot. And during the time, the French Revolution was just about to start. In its beginnings, one of the generals in the French Revolution, saw his unique talent, you could say, for his appetite, where he can act as a spy by sending messages that he would swallow and then regurgitate, which you would think maybe just tell him what to say, but they said
Right.
no. Instead, you eat a box, a wooden box, and inside the box is the note. Man, inside the box is a note with the message that you're supposed to deliver.
Yeah.
That was his job. And so, within 30 hours of this job and swallowing the box to send the message, he is immediately found and then beaten almost to death.
Boy, what are you doing over there? Is he eating a box? Man, beat him up! Get him out of here!
Is he an artist or a crazy person?
What art is this guy making? He's eating boxes. He has to be a crazy guy. And watch him be an artist. Watch him be an artist.
This is, take all, winner takes all,
I know it's the wrong answer, but I'm still gonna say he's crazy. Because the only reason why I think he is an artist is because whenever you have someone from France in that time period, it's like anything's art.
Well, I can give you a hint. But remember, we're only notable artists. So we're talking about AAA, big names. They're next to Thor in Avengers, kind of big.
So he's crazy.
He did make art.
Alright, so I'm going to pick the wrong answer.
Scale.
I'm going to pick the wrong answer, and I'm going to say he's crazy.
Is that your final answer, Scott?
Because I know it's wrong. Yeah.
Scott, unfortunately, you are correct.
Why?
Winning $1 million. This boy was named Teray, and he was indeed a spy for the French Revolution, and a very bad one. After soon getting beaten up and kind of in cage, he survived off of stored blood, and he lived to tell the tale up until the age of 27, where he died.
How is that crazy, though?
Well, it's because all he did was eat his entire life, and then agreed to be a spy with no training, to then eat a wooden box, to then get caught with the wooden box that he's eaten. Just pretty much all the things a crazy guy would do, and you think he's on his own story. No.
That's dedication to his line of work.
He has passion.
He's got the yeah, he's got it. Got the grits.
Alright, Scott, you won it all. Those are our artists and crazy people. Dear listener, I hope you learned... what did you even learn?
I don't like how I won this.
You didn't deserve it.
I did not deserve it.
We're gonna give you the $1 million anyway. Because we're man of our word.
It's all blood money, tracked by the government, so when you do spend it, they'll find you.
It's okay, we'll find you. We'll find a way to get it back. But yeah, that was my segment for today. Arts are crazy. I think what I liked about this most was because I got to look up... I didn't really know too much about art, other than like a few guys here and there. So I liked kind of reading how the art people, for the most part, they either are depressed or like they're depressed. That's it, actually. There is no in between.
Don't you feel like all the great artists had to be in a different state of mind compared to a default state of mind of neutral, so that you can make cool pieces of art?
That is a good point, but I feel like it's hard to refute because it makes a lot of sense.
Because like if you're in your normal state of mind, then you see everything as normal. so you wouldn't think of trying to go outside the box. But if you're already far off of the spectrum, then that's like off the normal already. So then you want to keep going off that path.
I think you're right, but I think it's because not being normal doesn't always contribute to being a bad mindset. Because I think for the most part, like some of these guys, most of these guys, they're just depressed. But I know there's artists who like they're not normal people, but they make great art, or
Yeah,
they're notable,
I can
but
think
they're
of a
not.
few.
Yeah, they're not cutting their wrist. Dear listener, if you're an artist, don't cut your wrist. Be like Weird Al.
Hey, Weird Al is a good artist. He's a
He's
great
a great
guy.
artist. He
Yeah,
got his own movie, and that movie was hilarious.
I didn't watch it, but I know it's good.
It is. It was played by Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes.
Oh man, I love Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel, if you're listening, I can't host you. Honestly, I don't know what to ask you. But if you have a friend less notable, yeah, that'd be nice.
We have nothing to say. I don't know why you called him out for.
Because I don't want to have him show up and then he's like, "So Harry Potter questions, right?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
And then we hide all the Harry Potter merch and we're like, "No, this is about you, Daniel."
Yeah.
Waste up an episode. Well, Scott, you have any life advice for our dear listener here who's striving to be a crazy artist or a crazy person? Honestly, these crazy people seem like they live kind of a hype life. This guy eating a box. If I was the soldier who saw him do that, I would have said, "Max Aura, bro. That's commitment."
I would just say, what are you doing? Like,
Don't
stop
stop him.
eating boxes.
No, he cooked. Because you know what? I bet because of his stupid diversion of that spy attempt, when they had an actual spy, probably wasn't going to get caught because this dumbass here is like making this box commotion. It's like a Trojan horse. Horse.
I feel like we only know about this because this guy messed up,
Yeah. Right. I guess the greatest spies are never written in history, huh?
right?
I kind of always forget like how close to nonfiction and fiction are like history is. Like my brother was sending me a an article about this whole big like book of laws that how they judge people who are witches or not. And so he kind of went through it, and I was like, hey, so with your 21st century mindset, after reading it, were anything in there was anything in there reasonable where it's like, oh, I can see your point, bro. She might be a witch. Or was it all like it didn't make sense because she was a chick? She has to be a witch. And he was like, yeah, pretty much all of it was like that. It was like if she does weird stuff, she's a witch. If the man does the same thing, he must be possessed by a witch. For witches are only women.
Yes. I mean, the logic checks out. I don't know how to refute that.
That's the worst part, right? It's like, well, there is no guy witches.
Nope.
Oh man. History is so weird. It's weird how like things happened in the past, like the Cowboys versus like Native Americans was an actual thing, and not just like TV humdrum made up.
It's also crazy how there are a bunch of old factions of people of like the cowboy
Yeah.
era that in that time where they controlled territory and they fought with each other and they were like big names back in the day and now they're just forgotten the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about cowboys besides that they're in the desert.
Well, there's not just desert, there's also in the forest.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, they just controlled like everywhere in the west. They just controlled land, territory, and they fought with each other. I almost watched this one documentary about that, about these two famous factions, how there's like the bloodiest war that they ever had with each other. But I didn't get to watch it, so I can't tell you how it goes.
Well, if you watch it, I'd like to know what was the deal with why cowboys existed, and because like was it because the government was like, hey, we just got all this land because we got Mexico over, so it's too much land for us to be in charge of. So is that why we let cowboys do their thing?
Isn't it? Isn't it like it's too much to establish a small or like spread our influence this far? So here's a small government, and then you can, police yourselves. Is that how
Yeah,
that
that's
works?
I thought that's how it works, but I'm not really sure because all my cowboy history is from movies that I have watched. So that's why I know cowboys are in the desert.
Well, I don't know much either. I'm not that much of a history buff for that.
Dear listener, I know you're riding on your horse, thinking about your daddy's daddy who was a cowboy. Let us know what we're missing. Were there aliens? Is that why? Is it like the whole pyramid situation?
You think if aliens came down to us, you think they'll be disgusted by us?
I want to say no.
Because aren't we the aliens to the aliens?
We are, but like when I try to think of an alien visiting us, I always keep it in the mindset of like, what if I was a squirrel who lived in the forest? I was born in the forest, and I stumbled across the city. That's the closest thing to an alien experience I could think of in my head. And I'm like, squirrel's like, well, they eat, like, because I assume the aliens have to eat. If the aliens are living and they're not robots, they have to either eat, they sleep, and they poop. So I feel like what we do is pretty close to what they do. Now, unless they're like something else, like I don't know, they're like sentient beings, they don't eat, they don't sleep, they share like a mind with like a hive mind or something. Then yeah, I think we'd gross them out.
As soon as I asked that question, and I realized it had nothing to do with artist, I was like, let me try to get back into the artist topic.
No. I'm hooked in here. I see the connection. Alien, artist, I see what you're doing.
They're crazy. They're all crazy. That's the moral of the story. Who would be the aliens to the aliens? And I think the aliens are going to be so different from us that as humans we have to kill it.
You think so?
Of course. When have we never not killed something that we didn't find different from us?
I mean,
because anything that threatens us is going to be exterminated because it doesn't live below us.
So okay, if is that your stance, Mr. President?
Well, as your grand vizier counselor, Mr. President, I think it would be in your best interest to blow them all up.
Mr. President, I gave you the presidency hat, so I have to tell you right now, there's mole men under us. Are they aliens, huh? Or are those American, hot-blooded mole men Americans?
If you're giving mole men rights, then you got to give robots rights, Mr. President.
Robots are machines.
And mole men are moles.
I can imagine 40 years from now, it's like you have a daughter and she's dating a robot, and I go, Scott, what the fuck? That's an automaton. Ugh. Disgusting. You're gonna be like, oh, it's alright. Love is love. I go, no, that's a machine. That's an Alexa, bro.
You Gen Zoomers don't even understand the love between man and robot. Come on now. Let the tigers tiger.
Scott, don't you dare let your children date and marry a robot.
I don't think I can. Unless there's a but.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they looking and feeling exactly like not mole men, but a human with a slightly harder feel.
It's just like a Ryan Gosling shaped moment.
And then you can't blame her. Like, who can blame her?
Like, oh, of course, honey. That's Ryan Gosling in disguise. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wonder if we will get to that threshold, because now with the whole Tesla robots being a thing, I'm like, you ever heard like the theory was like every 3 years we make a new level up inside the tech tree of like tech we figure out.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was watching this I think it's called the Orville. It's like Star Trek. I never watched Star Trek. Have you?
Yeah.
Watched Star Trek? Yeah, so you can fill me in if I'm wrong here. But there's this one episode where the planet itself, the planet that they went to visit, it gets warped into like some type of wormhole every certain amount of like years. And so to them it would seem like a second, but for that planet it would like it hops through like a couple centuries. So as they're watching the planet at like an hour to hour base, they watch the planet like fully evolve into like until they become sentient, and then it just warps all the way back to like its original, like there's a new planet there starting from primitive age.
But you mean the planet is evolving, or the people on the planet are evolving?
The people on the planet. It's like they got swallowed up into a pocket of time.
Yeah.
And then in that pocket, 100 years happens or something, and then they pop back into, I guess, the local space that the spaceship is in. It was great. I need to get you to watch it. If you like Star Trek, it's funny. The guy who made Family Guy's in it.
So this is not a Star Trek episode.
It is a Star Trek episode.
Okay, so this is a Star Trek episode.
What's the Star Trek episode? Define me the parameters? Because the Star Trek, I never watched Star Trek, but what I thought what Star Trek was about is that there's crew people on the ship. They explore space. They go to a planet, and then they tell home base, "Yo, there's a new planet." And then they have a smart guy on their team who goes, "We should do something." And then the leader's like, "No, it's unjust." And then they leave. Is that not Star Trek?
Honestly, I don't really remember the plot of Star Trek besides they left Earth searching space, and they read a log of what they find in space. And that's literally the whole show.
Oh, okay. Then I guess this is Star Trek adjacent, I would say.
And I've only watched like the old TV show. I haven't watched the movies or anything.
Is the old TV shows worth watching, you think?
If you like really crappy fighting scenes. Because back in
That's
the era where you
4D.
just chop someone's neck and they go, ah! They fall over and die. Or knock out.
Oh man.
You know, like the Batman era with Adam West, right? Is his name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
good
come
times.
so far.
Us Zoomers know this.
Zoomers.
Yes.
There is no YouTube Shorts ad anywhere. Is this really content? Where's the React?
I was trying to remember. I think the last episode of Star Trek that I watched was what's his name? Captain Kurt? I believe his name's Kurt.
Captain Kurt.
Oh god, what his name's not Kurt.
I remember Spock. Is that?
Yeah, Spock. I know Kirk and the Doc. Captain Kirk.
And there's a black lady, and I think there's an Asian lady there too. Can't remember. I think so.
Basically, he went over to Spock's planet, and then Spock was like, "Hey guys, it's me, one of you." And then they were like, "Hey, thanks for coming back home. Hey, we have a ritual going on right now. You're gonna have to kill that human that you came with." And Spock's like, "Huh? I have to kill my captain? You guys are crazy." And they fight to the death. And I think Spock stabs Kirk, and he like fakes his death or something. And the Doc was watching, going like, "Damn, I gotta heal this guy later." That could be totally false. It could be a fake memory implanted in me by the automatons, thinking that mole people are real.
Honestly, because it sounds like a Star Trek episode. I will say Orville is like somewhere where it doesn't seem like that.
Oh, there's also an episode where Star Trek came to the past instead of the future, and so like present day, quote unquote, of when the show aired, they saw a guy like they rocketed down to Earth, and they were like, "This is our Earth, but just like 100 years in the past." And so they don't have space technology, and so the Earth guy they found was like, "Hey guys, you guys aliens? You look just like humans." And then they were like, "Yeah, we're humans just like you, but from the future." And then the guy was like, "That's great. I'm going to have to kill you now." Because the guy was like, "You're from the future, you're dangerous. I'm going to blow up your ship with missiles." And then they were like, "We can't kill him. He's part of the past. What's going to happen if we kill this guy?" And then I think he reports them to the authorities. I don't remember the episode. That was also a false memory implanted by the mole people.
No, I was wrong. This does sound like Orville, but Orville's a little bit more fleshed out because there's an episode like that. Inside the Orville version, there's one where they come to a planet that's like Earth in like the 2000s, like we're in. And when they come to the planet, the captain, they know they have the space rule regulation. It's like there's planets that are in certain eras of their time, and the rule of thumb is if they're in a certain era, whatever era they're in, we're not allowed to help them like get to the next level of technology or whatnot.
Right.
So when they come visit the planet, they end up taking a woman with them by accident. And she's like, "Whoa, you guys don't grow food?" He goes, "No, we just generate it." And they click a button and they order whatever they want and it just like synthesizes the food. And she goes, "This would stop world hunger." He goes, "Yes, but you can't take it with you because it would be affecting your world." And
now,
you
wave your
explode.
finger in front of her, but like, "You can't take this with you."
And so that was like essentially the episode. And she tries to take it and they catch her and like, "I knew we should have picked up a straggler."
Yeah, it sounds like Star Trek.
Yeah. But I think I like the playoff because there's certain things that are pretty weird. Like they have a doctor on the ship who ends up dating a robot. And then everyone's like, "But it's a robot and they're evil." And she goes, "No, Isaac is good." And Isaac is like,
"I am programmed to be good."
You know what? Yeah. I think you would like the show. It's pretty comical. Maybe we should watch some space stuff. I'm in like a mood for space related sci-fi now.
That can be arranged. I'm not sure when, but we'll probably figure something out.
True. I want to show you the Orville. I think you would love it.
How many episodes is it?
I want to say there's maybe like 9 episodes a season, and it's only like 3 seasons. It's like Rick and Morty, but the episodes are 40 minutes. So like you'll watch one episode and you'll be like, all right, that's good for today. Unless you get hooked, it's good. I recommended it to my brother, and he ended up liking it. And he's not even a sci-fi guy, so I think you'll like it.
I'll probably like it.
Oh, when we become the corporate overlords, what are we changing?
Well, Mr. President,
there's a caveat: the people still have to suffer, but you can change one thing.
It's gonna be we're gonna buy out all the subscription services that monitor subscription services.
Okay.
So that
no more rocket money. How will I know?
Yeah. That's how we get you.
Oh no.
This is what you wanted, Mr. President. You told me this.
You're right.
You said let them suffer. Let them eat cake. All right?
The American people have to know. You take away all rocket money like apps, but you lower every subscription price down by like $3. It balances out the evil. So they think it's like, oh, it's cheaper, but they can't track it if they're dumb.
You know, on that note, I think I'm gonna wind it down because I got you off the topic, and then I continued you off the topic. So now I'm gonna go.
It's okay.
Huh?
It's okay.
That's not okay, because someone's gonna click on this episode, and they're gonna be like, "Ah, this is about artists," and then it's gonna be like, "What the heck is talking about Star Trek for?"
Jay, listen, if you came here because the title somewhere said art in it, it was a lie.
It was a ruse.
It was a ruse to pull you in. This is actually our sci-fi episode.
You ever heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Darth Plagueis?
Not a story the Jedi would tell you.
I can't wait for... You think the... What's his name? I always remember his last name. Lucas. You think he'll ever... Is he even making Star Wars stuff anymore? Does he?
Yeah. He lost the rights to it.
So it hasn't been Disney that's been making all this?
That's Disney. It's woke Disney.
Okay, that explains why it's all bad. So what is he
doing
now?
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not going to another topic. No. We're cutting it off here. All right? We're winding it down. My voice is cracked twice.
We're going down. We're going down.
We're winding it down.
I almost riled you up there.
We're winding it down.
Is he still making Jedi stuff?
We're winding it down.
Oh.
So with the beautiful continuation of the winding it down segment,
yes,
I'm going to tell you what my winding down recommendation is.
Oh, lovely.
And it's someone that you're not supposed to wind down with. It's someone that actually I don't look up to, but I do
look down to?
No.
In between? Eye to eye?
Alright, I look up to him, okay? Shit. Alright, fine. Happy? You happy? I'll look up to this guy.
He's one step higher.
He's a cool guy. He's been making content for a long time. He's found on the YouTubes and on the Twitch. And his name is Germa985. He's an OG content creator. He used to make Team Fortress 2 commentaries. And I've been watching him since those days when he converted to Twitch, when he was still making YouTube videos, and now that he's on his retirement arc. So he's a grown-ass man. And like any grown-ass man, you realize that you're doing a job for like 10 plus years is pretty tiring. So you enter your retirement arc. But he's still loved by the masses, so we all love the guy. The sus guy.
You sound like a zoomer when you said retirement arc.
That's what he's calling it. The retirement arc. Yeah, it's called the retirement arc. His really content phases is basically between YouTube, Twitch, and the retirement arc.
So what is he doing now? Like
he's still doing Twitch streams, but he's just not as doing it as frequently. So that's why it's called the retirement arc.
How old is this guy?
I think he's 30. 35? I don't want to say 35, because I feel like that's
pretty young.
Okay, Google, answer my questions. Why do tigers have stripes?
It's because nothing rhymes with orange.
Sporange?
No, Eminem, don't do it.
Germa is 39 years old.
Holy shit.
Dang, that's why he's in retirement arc.
This guy's dead already.
Unless this is fake. Well, Google would never lie to me.
No, Google wouldn't lie. Eagle is bound by truth.
You know why tigers have stripes?
No, why?
I'm not talking about it. We're winding down.
Maybe the next one. Maybe we'll do one that's animal related. One of these
We're
episodes.
winding down. But just
Winding
real
down.
quick, I will say, and just slip it in real quick. It's
Slip it in.
because they want to absorb the light so they can blend in, and so tigers have stripes because when they're running, it looks like a blur. All right.
That's
That's
actually And why do cheetahs not have stripes?
because the dots is the same thing as a stripe, except they couldn't afford the stripe.
I see. Not enough V-Bucks in the store.
All right,
In
so
there.
according to Google, the stripes help break up the cat's shape and outline, so it blends in with trees and tall grasses.
But doesn't the orange kind defeat the purpose?
I mean, but they're living in like the jungle. What are you talking about?
Because like
It's
it's like I grew black stripes to phase in with my environment, but also I'm fucking orange.
no, you grew black stripes so you can break your silhouette, and you're orange because it's like a very dark, mellow. You're not a bright orange. You're not Garfield running through the forest. See, this is why I didn't want to bring this up, because we're not going down, we're going up. The tension's rising, the conversation's lively. We're supposed to be calming down right now, and I'm raising my voice.
You know, you can't convince me anymore. You're fucking orange. You're gonna break up your...
It's not Garfield running through the forest.
Oh, I'll have to pass that news along. Yeah, that's why they got stripes. They want to break up their silhouette, right? But they're fucking orange. Who thought
Alright,
this
I'm
shit
gonna
up?
throw you in the jungle. I'm gonna see if you can spot a tiger lurking for you.
I will spot that tiger. I'm like, what's that fucking orange? That billboard orange fucking marker. Trying to hide next to green trees.
It's not orange.
That's an interesting fact. I love animal facts. That's a good one.
My
Ooh.
goodness.
Well, my recommendation, I would say, is meditation. If you never did it, try it. Do like a 10-minute, and I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. You know, go on YouTube, just type in 10-minute meditation, put it on, listen to the gal or guy, and listen to their instructions. If they say close your eyes, close your eyes. If they say steal, steal. If they say rob a bank, put on your ski mask, and I guarantee the entire event, you'll be calm. It's a good time. Yeah, and it's good for your health. It has benefits. I forget what they are, but I remember reading them and they were good. I swear they're good. I swear they're good.
I know it's good for you. I know it is, I swear. Start twitching
I
at
read
me.
the label. I swear. Trust me.
Okay.
I think that concludes it, right?
I think I need to start meditating after this.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll watch out for
I'm gonna start meditating, and I'm gonna hear in my head is, why do tigers have stripes? They're fucking orange. How do they have stripes for? There's no reason they're orange. And I just get angrier and angrier, and like the meditation's not working.
You know, if you go to the zoo, we gotta bring that up to one of these keepers.
Yeah, we're actually gonna go to a zoo, and we're gonna be like, hey, you have any orange tigers? Why do they have stripes? Like, what's the deal with that? What's the deal with tigers? Why do they have stripes?
You know, they're gonna say the same shit you said. Oh, break up the silhouette. And they go, but it's fucking orange.
Yeah,
The whole hair is green. He's fucking orange.
and then they beat you
Shouldn't
up,
he be green?
and they kick you out.
Fucking feed me to the tigers.
Yeah, you see like them radio to each other, like this guy knows you got to kick him out. He's spreading disinformation. And all the kids are like, why can't we enter this area? And it's like, oh no, we're getting blocked off.
Okay. Add it to the bucket list. Zoo visit.
A zoo visit, yeah.
Well, dear listener, thank you for coming to episode 4. If you liked it, well, listen to it again. And we will probably be back unless the world is over. Enjoy our sci-fi episode.
This is not a sci-fi episode. Are you telling me I had to put sci-fi in the title now because of this small segment we did at the very end?
Yep.
Oh my god.
You could put I'm thinking something like art question mark sci-fi?
You know, that would actually fit in with a title. Because most of my titles have a period or a question mark.
Yeah, see?
All right, I guess the title. Yeah, damn.
Thank you, dear listener. We convinced him. You see how easily he was twisted.
All right, Mr.
Part
President.
Viceroy,
If it's the
begin.
Emperor's will.
Chisel the title into the White House.
He was crazy, I swear. No artist would eat a box.
I find that so crazy that he ate the box. Like, the general's like, you could be our spy. And he goes, oh, I'm passing messages, right? He goes, no, no, no. You're eating them. You're eating them and you're going to spit them out. It's like, but they're just words. He goes, no, no, no. We can't trust you to remember them.
He didn't even shove it up his ass. He didn't get that far.
Right? I would think you. That's a good idea, too. I would think in your asshole before in your stomach. Because in your stomach, if it like gets too deep, your body's gonna try to convert it into energy.
Yeah.
In your ass, though, at least it knows it's on the exit.
Start sucking it upwards.
Does that happen?
No.
Doctor, does that happen?
Okay. All right. Winding down meditation. All right, guys.
Winding down.
Thank you all for listening. Don't stuff shit up your ass. All right? Shit needs to come out of your ass unless you're into it, but do it safely. That's our TSA, PSA, CSA. I'm not going to define any of those because you know what those stand for.
All awarenesses.
Yeah.
You should be aware.
Viewer discretion is advised. I should probably put that in the beginning of the episode, but here it is at the very end. So
at the end, so we're just warning you if you listen to it.
Okay. Bye now. I will.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.